I think you highlight so much here. I'm going to read one quote. I don't know if I'm going to get away with just one in the next 15 minutes, but let's try. So on page 55, this is probably one of my favorite in the whole book. You had said this, but John is totally clear that this love, embodied and dramatically lived out by Jesus himself in his utter seriousness and light touch playfulness, comes to us through and only through the victory won on the cross over the dark distortions. It comes to us as part of a new creation. The resurrection says God's yes to the whole created order, and with it, to the love that all humans know in their bones is central to what it means to be human. Where do we get this wrong without Jesus? And I don't mean that in some traditional sense of you got to be saved. Of course I believe those core things, but there's something missing when we just say go get your salvation, or and that's what's missing. There's something profound about humankind and what we're made to be.
Absolutely. And here, just taking love as the parade example for the moment, but with each of these seven, once we've seen the brokenness, and once we've seen the way in which the broken signposts in their brokenness point to the cross, with Jesus coming to the place where justice is denied and love is trampled on and so on, then we are called and enabled by the Spirit to become people of justice, love, spirituality, etc., and in turn to become ourselves and our communities mended signposts, so that people will see in our human lives and in the communities where we try to live this out, the genuine signposts. And we'll see, oh, maybe that's what human life was supposed to be like. And I have seen this in many places. People who come from very sad and damaged backgrounds and dysfunctional homes. My wife and I met a couple recently who have had 7 children of their own, and who then, once their children were more or less growing up and leaving, started to either foster or adopt other children, particularly fostering. And you're thinking, having had 7 of your own, how can you do that? And the answer was, they were in good practice. He was a school teacher, she was a nurse. They knew about looking after kids. And so they just got on with it. And many of these children would come into their home and for the first time experience normal family life, with its ups and its downs and its joys and its sorrows, but with a sense of the security of being loved, whatever. And when people have never had that, that's very, very powerful. There's a fine Christian couple who've just done that. That's one of the ways they've spent their lives. And so, but then that's what the church is supposed to be all about. And sometimes you glimpse it and it really is. Sometimes church can become horribly dysfunctional too, and full of backbiting and unloving stuff. But at its best, that's what it is. It's a great big second family.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah. And that's something that I think just comes through in a lot of your books. But in this book in particular, I caught a couple of nuggets, and I'm looking for these nuggets. I just submitted a book, and it's about how the humanity of Jesus redeems our pain, and it really looks at the life of Jesus through his humanity, while also the divinity stuff. But looking at him and saying, let's step into the life of Jesus as a prototype for all humankind, for the new creation, and notice how Jesus steps into pain and helps us step into that pain. And I think what you just said about this family just embodies that, because not only are they had to become particular kinds of people with Jesus to have the virtue to then extend their family beyond the 7, right? And they'd had a lot of practice.
Exactly.
And so I just see in that, and I say, whoa, this is the redemption of the brokenness of the signposts. And that's beautiful. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Who's publishing your book, by the way?
Waterbrook Press. So it's they're part of Random House, that crew. So yeah. It's very excited. It'll be out in March or whatever. Yeah. So